Oh, welcome to another episode of the 151 Collective. I am your co-host, Zack Mo, aka Tim.
And I'm your co-host Collector, aka Visine.
Nice. What kind? What kind of Visine?
Red Eye Total Comfort.
I have tired eye relief.
Nice. It's a good one.
Because I'm always fucking tired.
You got to go to CPAP study, a sleep study. I mean,
Why? I don't need a CPAP.
how do you know?
Because I don't wake up in the middle of the night trying to
Neither
breathe.
do I. I've never once done that, and I have
Then why do you need a
I
CPAP?
have severe sleep apnea.
I don't have sleep apnea. I
How do
have
you how do you know?
insomnia.
How do you know that you don't have sleep apnea?
Because I have insomnia.
The two things are not mutually exclusive. You still sleep.
Do I though?
You do, yes.
That's debatable.
The other day you texted me at like 3 p.m. saying like, "Oh, I overslept."
Yeah, my alarm didn't wake me up. I was really pissed off at that. I was actually really pissed off.
Yeah, well, I think you do in fact sleep, and I think a sleep study would probably be good.
I study myself sleeping all the time.
Oh my god, bro, you're so stubborn. Just get a sleep study. The CPAP is awesome.
Well, what would that do for me?
If you
Doesn't
have
that?
sleep apnea, it makes you not tired.
No, I'm tired for different reasons.
You don't know that.
I'm tired because of type 1 diabetes.
You sure, I'm sure that's a contributing factor, but if you have sleep apnea as well, which you might, you will feel much better sleeping with a CPAP.
I need a new bed, is what I need.
All right.
That
I'm not
bed's
gonna.
my bed's like 11 years old. It has an imprint of my ass in it,
Oof.
and I need a new one.
All right, we'll get a new bed and a sleep study.
You want to come over and watch me?
No, dude, it's easy actually. Like you
What
get,
is a
it's like
sleep study?
it's a take home kit. They like send you with the thing they put under your nose if you're in the hospital, like a little oxygen thingamajig. It's that, but it's not blowing oxygen. It's like measuring your breathing. So you just wear that, and you put like you like elastic band this thing to your chest. That's like a heart monitor, and I think it also measures like how your chest is moving. I'm not like, I don't really know how it works, but that's all you do. You just wear the thing under your nose and you wear the strap thing on your chest. Maybe there's a pulse ox that goes on your finger. I don't remember. And then you just sleep for one night and it stores all the information in the device. You give it back to them and they study the results. And then they tell you whether you have sleep apnea and how severe it is.
But I thought sleep apnea was just you couldn't breathe, that your
Yeah. So
airway closes up.
it does. And it's just what's one of the contributing factors of snoring. And there's a lot of different things that sleep apnea is doing, but it doesn't mean like people with sleep apnea don't just like wake up in the middle of the night realizing that they can't breathe.
Right. All right. Well, whatever.
It's just interrupting your sleep.
Whatever. Do a sleep study one day. I also have to still go to a gastro doctor. I have to make an appointment for
I
my
thought you went
diabetes
already.
doctor. No, it was too far. It was all the way uptown. I didn't go.
Oh my god, bro.
I
All
don't
right.
drive. I didn't want to take a 2.5 hour train ride.
Well, I did go to the gastro doctor and I have my next appointment on the 17th of August.
I have my next retinopathy appointment on Thursday, which I'm probably going to get an injection in the eyes.
Sick. I hope everybody enjoys hearing about how sickly Zack Mo and I are.
Well, I mean, they've heard how many times about my diabetes management and whatnot, and I have 9 toes. But
Right.
yeah, injections in the eyes, and you're awake the entire time, and you're not under anything.
Sounds pretty terrible.
Just imagine if you're on YouTube. Just imagine the needle
I don't.
going.
It's like a Clockwork Orange. I have no need for that.
Oh,
It's why do you have? Oh, I was gonna say
I'm
why do you?
type 1 diabetic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I
yeah,
have a
yeah,
needle
yeah,
on
yeah.
hand.
Yeah. Okay. We can't see quite the needle tip anyway. Nobody's really watching this. For those of you just listening, which is most of you, he's like pointing a needle at the screen. We'll probably get this video demonetized. I don't know how I'm going to feed my children. Thanks. 12 views last week. Keep up the great work, everybody.
You guys are doing great.
You know what I noticed? Actually, I was just like casually looking. The episodes where we have guests on do significantly better. So maybe we need to make that more of a priority. People seem
That's
to really
interesting.
like when we have guests. Like the episode with Jimmy Shoes has a lot of views, the episode with Annie, and the episode with Brent. So
You know what episode has a lot of views?
the one that you promoted.
Zack Mo Needs a Hot Dog.
Oh yeah, Zack Mo Needs A Hot Dog has a lot of views as well.
It does.
Word on the street is Zack Mo might need another hot dog.
That is the word. And while this episode is continuing, I will think of a stipulation.
All right, cool.
Because that's
You know
how we
what's
got
crazy
it last time.
that I thought of after I booked it? I got nervous after like when I was like laying in bed thinking about my schedule.
We're going to see Kill Tony again, if you didn't
we're
know
going
that.
to see Kill Tony on August 16th for more market research for this podcast.
Right.
The appointment on the 18th that I have requires a pretty significant amount of prep. And
I'm aware of
fortunately,
the type of prep that is required.
the major preparation is going to be on the 17th, but I'll be on dietary restriction during the Kill Tony appearance. So I might.
You
be
mean
a
we
little
can't go get
grumpy.
Roses?
No, we're not having Rose's Pizza ever again, no matter what.
God damn it.
That place was a garbage pit.
There's
Never
a place
eat
right
at Rose's
outside.
Pizza. It was the worst slice.
Well, let's be specific, because there's a Rosa Pizza on Fresh Pond Road down the block from me.
No, this is right outside of right across the street from Madison Square.
Rose's Pizza on 7th Avenue I think it was between 37th and 38th. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. It was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, if you're standing in front of MSG looking away from MSG, you'll see it. It's terrible. It's like away into the left.
Yeah.
Don't bother.
It's pretty good. They have a really good buffalo slice.
Oh my god, it was like cardboard with not even really cheese on it, and the chicken
dollar
was
slices
so
are better
dry.
than that.
Dollar slices are way better than that.
Yeah,
dollar slices can slap depending on where you are and how hungry you are and the time of day, etc., etc.
Yeah.
If you're like prepared going into the situation that you're about to crush on a couple dollar slices, they can be pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I like dollar pizza. There's a spot right by my job that they make a vegetable dollar. It's $1.50 when you get the vegetables on it. It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I bet.
So, Charlie won't stop fucking asking me.
Yeah, he's
blowing up
the people.
Yeah, that's what he does, huh? Charlie? He wants to know how your weekend collecting was. I told him I don't fucking know because I'm not you.
My weekend collecting was pretty awesome. The last 7 days, what have I done? So last week we talked, I think, about the fact that I was considering selling a few Gengar slabs due to the current market conditions. I know for sure we talked about the one slab that I took a big loss on, but I ended up selling 3 Gengar slabs and made up plenty for what I had lost on that one slab. Or not lost, I broke even on it, but yeah, I did exceptionally well. We'll talk a little bit more about it during the market, but I sold 3 Gengar slabs, which means I now have room in my collection for more Gengar slabs. What I'm learning is that I really like certain artwork, and I don't necessarily love chasing like hype beast cards. Like just because a card is very expensive doesn't mean that I want it in my Gengar collection. The idea of having every single Gengar in a PSA 10 is just not, I'm like at a point in my life where I realize that's not attainable for me, at least not with the current market conditions. Pokemon would have to take a massive nosedive for that to be possible for me. But what I think I'm going to focus more on is like self-grading Gengar 10s. The majority of what I have right now in my collection is self-graded. There's a few that I've purchased, but for the most part, everything that I have left, which is, I only sold 3. I don't know why I say everything I have left. Probably because like financially it was a big chunk, but almost everything I have is self-graded. And that's really, really important for me. Like I have a reverse Pokemon 151 reverse Gengar from the English 151 set. And like,
that was one of the ones I gave you.
I don't know who gave it to me because I graded
I'm
probably
just gonna say it was the one I gave you.
I graded a lot of that card to get a 10. And so that particular slab is very meaningful to me because it took me a long time to get a 10 on, and I had to grade a bunch of times to get it. Um, my alt art from Fusion Strike is another one that has like a really good backstory behind it, and I self graded it. I bought it raw, self graded, and then lost it for a little while. Had to give it to a customer because something happened, and it was a whole crazy thing. But that slab's like,
You told us the exact story and who
yeah,
and everything about that.
yeah. So like that was, that slab is a permanent fixture in the collection, I guess, unless there's some other major catastrophe where I have to provide somebody a Gengar VMAX 10. But yeah, I think I'm going to kind of maybe refocus the Gengar slab collection. I'm still moving forward on the Kamiya collection, slow and steady every week, getting new cards. Shout out the Pokey Plumber. You guys, if you are watching on YouTube, you probably know the Pokey Plumber. He's like very popular on YouTube, happens to also be a very good friend of mine. We were hanging out the other day, and he gave me, well, he didn't give me, I kind of asked if I could have a reverse that I needed for my Kamiya collection. And it's really cool, like being with a true collector. He's like really a collector of Pokemon, like all things Pokemon. And he was like, why do you want this? Like he didn't want to let it go. Just like a random reverse that, you know, most people wouldn't think twice about giving to a friend. But he was like, oh, it's so clean. I remember pulling this back in 2017. It's the cleanest copy you'll ever see. It's just a random reverse. It's worth like 11 cents. But there's a huge amount of sentiment to me in situations like that. And of course he ended up giving it to me, and I did not have it. I told him if I had it, because I couldn't remember if I had the reverse or not. I told him if I had the reverse, I would give it back, but I did not have the reverse, so now I do. It's a Rotom too, which is awesome.
Yeah, Rotomed.
I don't think I got any new slabs. I sold those 3. I got a couple Kamiya arts in the mail. I've been ordering them online. I found a Kamiya art that I had bought and then misplaced in my office, but I have it now. It's like a really cool promo Kamiya from one of the Pokemon centers in Japan. It's an older one, so that's like a rare one, a good one for the collection.
I got a card off eBay last night.
Nice. What'd you get?
The first Shuckle card.
Oh, cool. Neo Revelation?
Yes, that was the one.
Nailed it.
$1.60.
There you go.
Free shipping.
Are you doing a full Shuckle binder?
No.
Okay. I mean, I don't think Shuckle has that many cards. There's probably
really doesn't.
less than 15, I would imagine.
Something like that. It's really not a lot. It's kind of sad.
There's a Shuckle GX, like a full.
There is.
2017.
And there's a Shuckle Hyper Rare. Rainbow.
I'm trying to think of the set. Is that from Rebel Clash? What's the Hyper Rare from? No, it might be Sun and Moon era. It is Sun and Moon era. I don't remember what set. I have to think about it. It'll come to me. Anyway, that's great. I'm glad that you got that card. I didn't get much in the way of singles last week. It was a much lighter week for me. I did buy a huge collection from someone, and I had been working on that deal for quite some time. Side note, like it's always so important to make sure that you talk to people and treat people the way that you want to be treated, because this collection, don't make that face. This collection that I got wasn't like someone who needed to sell anything. The person who I got this collection from is someone who I took 2% of their collection, and it was like a huge buyout. So they really had no need to sell, but it's someone who I've been like friends with and cultivating a relationship with for a really long time. And that's just so important in this hobby. People always, and not always, but a lot of people put money in front of relationships when they're like vending or reselling. A lot of streamers do that, where they like don't care about building relationships with people. They're just in it for the money. And it's just so important to build relationships with people. This is someone who is still a very good friend of mine, and I can go back to in the future and maybe potentially get more stuff from. And no matter what, like we were friends before, and we're still friends now. And it was really a cool thing. It made me kind of think about how important it is to have good relationships with people. So I got this massive collection. A couple boxes will stay in my personal collection from it. One of the Mega Power collections will stay in my PC. The Arceus box will stay in my PC. Actually, no one even knows that I got this. I got a a case of 151 ETBs. It was the only case I was missing from Scarlet Violet.
Nice.
So I secured that finally.
What
I
did you
had
sell the other one you had?
no, like forever ago.
Yeah.
Remember? So there was a time, if you're newer to the Collectors Club, there was a time
When
when
you were
I had
doing like 50 a day.
I had the cheapest 151 ETBs on TikTok. They were very easy for me to get. I was getting them in huge quantities, and I was selling them at $49.79 a piece. And nobody on TikTok was coming close to my price. And I was selling 50 to 100 151 ETBs every day. I mean, I was going through mountains of 151. And then I made a call to do my normal restock, and I was like, everything was like a well-oiled machine. And I made the call, and the person on the other end was like, "Oh, there's no more 151." And I was like, "Come again?" And I was sold to like zero. I had like 3 ETBs left or something. And so I put one in my personal collection, sold the whatever the last few, and I've only picked up like an ETB here and there and other collection buyouts since then. I've never come across another sealed case. So I'm grateful to have the sealed case in my collection. Incidentally, I am now missing Shrouded Fable, out of a case of Shrouded Fable out of my personal collection. So if somebody
Because of
wants to give
Annie?
me, well, not necessarily just because of Annie, but I
Because of
didn't
Annie.
I don't like Shrouded Fable, and so I was comfortable opening it. But now that I opened the Shrouded Fable case thinking, well, I'm missing 151 anyway. It's not really a big deal. I just won't keep ETB cases as part of my
Now you
Scarlet Violet
have.
collection. And now, literally, the only product from Scarlet and Violet that I don't have in a sealed case is Shrouded Fable ETBs. And funny enough, I got a huge allocation of Shrouded Fable when it came out, and I sold all of them at cost.
I
Uh,
remember.
it was like nobody wanted them,
You
and
were selling ATVs for like 35
it
bucks.
was terrible. It was like still things were still like much cheaper at that point. I was losing money on every single one I sold with fees and shipping. It was wild. So
I
is
remember
what it
during that
is.
time, I think it was Drew. Drew kept buying them.
Yeah, people were buying like cases.
Yeah, I remember Drew kept opening a lot of that.
hmm And nobody was getting anything. I hated
I
that
got
set.
the Pecharunt once.
I still don't really like the set at all. I just want to have it just to have a complete 151 collection. Or, I'm sorry, Scarlet Violet collection, because I
Okay.
have a sealed case of every booster box. I have one of every ETB, one of every booster box, and one of every 3-pack blister, check lane blister. I have most of the poster collections. I don't think I have all the poster collections, or not poster, but the premium collections. I don't think I have all of them, but I have most of them. I have most of the tins, most collection boxes, all sealed cases of everything. So
Well,
I'll have to
earlier you
bite
said
the
that
bullet.
you didn't buy a lot of singles.
Correct.
When I
Other
start doing
than
when I
Tamiya.
start doing auctions, you can buy more singles.
Yeah. Yeah, I will have to.
Yeah,
Um, but I think like as far as my weekend collecting goes, Pokemon wise, that was about all I did. I don't even think I did anything like outside of Pokemon collection wise.
I got a Shuckle. I opened the Charizard box and pulled nothing.
Nice.
Uh, what did I pull? I pulled eggs. Um,
Yeah, the Execute. That's a cool card.
what else did I collect this week? Picked up my
That
meds.
Charizard Lenticular is insane.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it did that.
Dude, wait till you see it in person. It's unbelievable. That
Pretty
thing is
cool.
sick.
You know what I saw that I asked about today? That I didn't elaborate on the Labubu's grading card thing
hmm
with PSA. I thought that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, PSA grades the cards that come inside the Labubu boxes.
How much is
Don't
that going to
ever
be?
don't ever try to sell me one. I don't know and I don't care. That's ridiculous.
You're not going to grade them?
No, absolutely not. I sent them all to the customers. If you bought a Labubu, you got that card.
Yeah, but what if somebody wants to grade them through you?
Sure, I'll do it. I'm not buying it when it comes back.
No shit. Why would
I
they
mean,
want
I
to buy it?
I end up buying a lot of slabs from people when they come back from PSA.
Well, it's different. You resell a lot of
Yeah,
most
no,
of
I'm not
everything you
interested
buy.
in Labubu stuff. I like my Gengar Labubu because it's a Gengar,
Well, yeah.
and I like that my daughters like the one Labubu each that they got. I was talking to a friend about restocking on Labubu, but I don't know. I think it's gonna die pretty soon. We'll see.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of things dying, why don't you tell us about the market?
What a transition into
Well, because you're saying,
one of the hottest markets we've had ever in Pokemon.
well, you were saying that, because it's a market statement, what you just said.
I guess, yeah. Look, the market is at its most volatile point since we've started this podcast. There's never been more volatility in the Pokemon market. Again, from the beginning, I've always said Pokemon go up, but right now, please be careful. Did we talk about Greninja last week? I don't remember the timeline on Greninja, the Gold Star Greninja from Celebrations.
We might have.
Well, I'll lead with that because I don't remember. I know we talked about Gold Stars on the podcast. I don't think we talked about the Gold Star Greninja. I think it was like I went Sage mode and predicted it. If I remember correctly, I started saying like, pay attention to Gold Stars. They're 3xing, 4xing. The Gold Star Greninja was like a $300 slab, which was already like a pretty high price for a card that was so common. And then it went from like $300, $400 up to $2,000 like overnight. Multiple sales on eBay from 1,000 to 2,000. And then, of course, the individual card went from $10 to like $50, $60, $70. Literally overnight. And now all Celebrations product is going up in price, especially anything that contains that Greninja, which would be like the Poke Center ETB, the regular ETB. I think that's it. And maybe the UPC might have one, but I don't think it does.
It's a promo.
Yeah, the Gold Star Greninja promo from the Celebrations ETB has gone berserk. There's a ton of promos that went crazy. The special delivery Charizard is $1,200 now. That was like $100, $200 slab. And then again, overnight, the slab just went to the moon. Megas are going insane, like crazy. People are, buying up megas in preparation for this new wave of megas that we're getting. Tag teams are going through the roof. The Mega Latios, the one that looks like lovebirds, that card is going for like $7,000 in a PSA 10. The Gengar Mimikyu tag team, full art, like the alternate art from Cosmic Eclipse, went from 1,000 to almost 5,000. Again, pretty much overnight. RIP, I don't have it in my collection anymore. What am I going to do? It was consigned and sold last weekend. And on that note, this is a great time to realize some gains and some capital back. If you have stuff that is exploding in price, sell into that market. It's not the time to just like hold the line. You can hold for a little bit, but the volatility right now is insane with singles and slabs. Sealed product continues to be safe, slow, steady, much harder to manipulate market price on sealed product because the quantity is so vast. And it's, again, slow, steady growth on most sealed product. We see minor adjustments on sealed product, some stuff retracing a little bit, some stuff increasing a little bit. You still have Evolving Skies leading the pack on Sword and Shield. You have Team Up leading the pack on Sun and Moon. XY Evolutions is moving up quite a bit, but it's not necessarily like the leader as far as XY era goes. In fact, it's not even close. But there's boxes now that, when we started this podcast, we're selling for 3,000 that are selling for 60,000. So the volatility in the market, especially for this older, like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, anything, Phantom Forces is a good example of a box that just went crazy. Phantom Forces packs too. So the Pokemon market is in a very volatile spot right now. We are definitely at some point, I don't know if it'll be a month, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, we will see a market crash. The market is just too hot right now to sustain this level of growth. We are seeing like the summer retrace happen right now for all of the SIRs and the art rares. This happens every summer. It's completely unsurprising. If you've been in Pokemon, you remember this happening for Waifu. You remember this happening for Sword and Shield. Everything will be on sale basically for the summer as far as the special illustration rares go. And then come the holiday season, they'll all start picking back up again, probably like October, November. And then by January, they'll probably reach either the previous all-time highs or new all-time highs.
So right now is the time to buy SIRs.
Depending on the SIR, yes, now's a really good time. if they're down significantly from their all-time high, 30-40% from their all-time high, now's a very good time. Charizard from 151 is on sale right now.
I just looked. It said 180 on 180 something on Collector.
Yep. That card is on sale at 180. That is a fire sale on that card. It's the same as when Umbreon dropped back down to 400 and people were like, well, that's it. Umbreon's done. And now it's whatever, 1200.
I still need the Venusaur and Blastoise for 151. So
you can probably get both
those
for under $200 right now. I don't know exactly what they cost.
Keep talking. I'm gonna look.
Yeah, they're 151 is a great example of a set where the singles are on sale. The art rares not so much.
53 for Venusaur.
Yeah, and Blast I'm assuming is like $80, maybe 100.
Yeah, is that what you think?
Yeah.
What do you think the over under is on that?
It's in between 80 and 100.
How much you want to put on it? If it's under, you have to buy me one?
He says while staring at it being under $80 at 74.
It's 61.
Oh wow, that's even cheaper than I thought, man. Yeah, on sale. This is stuff that like it's going to be more expensive in the future. There's no timetable on it. It might be cheaper as we go further into the summer.
The Celebrations Classic Collection, Charizard, Venusaur, Ball, Blastoise. Why is Blastoise and Venusaur so fucking cheap?
They're relatively easy to pull. They don't have the Charizard tax. The 10-9 ratio is not great on them. They're going to go up. Celebrations is going up like crazy right now. Umbreon doubled in price in the last 4 or 5 days. The Umbreon Gold Star from the Classic Collection because of what's happening with the Gold Stars right now.
Oh, damn.
You looking at the Umbreon?
No, I'm looking at the Blastoise from Celebrations.
Yeah, went up, right?
Yeah, it was at June 27th. It was around, I want to say $6, maybe $5. And now it is 9/11. Never forget.
Yeah, I mean, Celebrations is like, it's going to be insane in the next couple of weeks. Hidden Fates is another one that we're going to see pump really, really heavy because of what's happening with the Hidden Fates promo. That card is now a $100 card. It was a $25 card for years. Now it's a $100 card. So because the promo inside the ETB is worth $100, the ETB automatically is now worth $100 more than it was when that was it's worth $75 more than it was when that was a $25 card. So we're seeing, very strong sales on Hidden Fates cases. The older stuff, because so many new people came into the hobby, the older stuff is extremely desirable. That's the stuff that to me doesn't feel like older stuff. Like ripping Celebrations, ripping Hidden Fates. This is like, we do that. It doesn't feel like ripping like vintage. But to a lot of newer collectors who just came in the Scarlet Violet era and just joined at maybe 151 or just even worse, just joined at Destined Rivals, all of that stuff that we all love ripping is super appealing to them because they're really great sets. And the result is that we're just going to continue to see the price drive up. And even last thing I'll say on the market, even if we see a massive retrace, that does not mean that Pokemon is dead. People were screaming from rooftops last time the alt arts dipped. Pokemon's dead. It's over. You guys were wrong. Haha, we were right. Told you so. You're idiots for buying this stuff. Fusion Strike will never be worth anything. I hope you enjoy your bricks. And, dumping everything, getting out of the hobby, saying like, forget about it. This is not investable. Nobody's ever going to make money on Pokemon. And look where we are right now. And Pokemon, the same thing happened.
Forever.
Pokemon might not be forever, but it's in my forever. No question about it.
It's going to be forever. It's going to go past an apocalypse. It's forever.
There are environmental factors that might play a part into, reducing the Pokemon hobby to a shell of its former self. But if those environmental factors happen,
change?
No, like external factors, environmental factors, meaning like catastrophic events, right? Something that if the Pokemon market in its current state dips, that's to be expected. If the Pokemon market crashes completely and goes to close to zero, everything else around us will have also done the same thing. So it's like You can put your
Because
money
Pokemon
wherever.
is forever.
It's in my forever again. I don't know if it's forever, but it's certainly within my forever.
You're in my forever.
Hey, yo. Chill. So that's what I got on the market. Words to live by. Be cautious. Buy what you love. And don't freak out. Sell into the market. Don't buy into the market. This is a really good time to offload things and capitalize on some gains. It's not the time for buying
I thought it's the time to buy
singles.
stuff.
Well, yeah, sure, for you, buy high, sell low. But buying cards that hyped up.
You just said before that the SIRs are going to be on
yes,
sale.
I'm saying buying into hyped up products is not the play. This is a great time to sell into the market. So anything that you've realized gains on. Nobody realized gains on Charizard. It's cheaper than it's ever been, or cheaper than it's been in a long time, right? So if you have cards that were worth $300-$400 and are now worth, $1,000, like it's a good time to take that money and put it into something that's nobody's.
If I had a card that was worth $300-$400, I already sold it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that listen to the podcast.
Because I buy high and sell low.
Well, you might. I mean, things are getting pumped that are like formerly nothing cards.
While.
Like if you have even regular tag team cards that aren't alt arts are getting expensive.
I do have. I actually picked it up when I was in Pennsylvania, and I got you those boxes. Pikachu Zekrom.
The gold promo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how pumped that is at the moment, but I'm sure it's on its way.
I forgot I have that. I don't even know.
I mean, it has so many things. Like, first of all, it's a tag team. Tag teams are very popular right now. It's got Pikachu, the strongest IP in all of Pokemon, and it's got Zekrom, who isn't necessarily on anybody's radar yet because Black Bolt and White Flare kind of tanked a little bit from Japan. But once they drop in English, everybody's going to be talking about Reshiram and Zekrom.
$23.95.
Yeah, it was like a $4 card not long ago.
I bought it for, I think it was either $4 or $5.
Yeah. So that's a 5X. You should have bought 100 copies.
You only had one.
But think about it. If you had made, if you had made that play, right? If you were like, I really like this card a lot, I'm going to buy 10 copies of it at $4 a piece. Your $40 would now be worth $230. That's the kind of stuff I try to explain to people. Like, buy the things that you like. Don't worry about what the market is doing. As long as you're not making stupid purchases, like as long as you're not buying something that everybody else is saying, like, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. If 35 people are talking about it and it's on every Instagram story you see and it's the hottest thing on the market, you should not be buying it as far as singles and slabs go. Like sealed product, obviously, when it comes out, it's the most expensive. So everybody's hyping it up and buying it right away. This changed in the Scarlet Violet era at some point. And then it dips a little bit. Like now's a good time for Destined Rivals. It's at probably the cheapest point it's been. It's like sub $250 a box. So it's a better time to buy Destined Rivals than when it was like $290 or whatever it was.
Remember when booster boxes were like $120?
Yeah, I remember when booster boxes were $80. That ship has sailed, at least for now. It might come back to port at some point, but today is not that day. But the thing is, when booster boxes were $80, nobody was buying them.
If you were just listening, I made a sad face.
That's it. I mean, Fusion Strike was $80 because nobody was buying Fusion Strike.
I'm pretty sure I was getting Fusion Strike ETBs from you for like 40.
I was selling them for like 28.
Okay, so maybe that's why I bought. Because I do have some empty ones that I've gotten from you. Because I bought. Because it had a Mew on it. That's why I got it.
Nobody wanted Fusion Strike. I have a case of, right behind me, a case of the Pokemon Center Fusion Strike ETBs. I don't do Pokemon Center stuff because I don't really think it's fair for me to be buying things on the Pokemon Center, given the fact that I have access to distribution. But I bought Fusion Strike and Lost Origin Pokemon Center ETBs. I have a case of each. Those are the only Pokemon Center ETBs I have, other than the Prismatic one that Jimmy Shoot got me. Yeah, they're not for sale, so I guess I'm a reverse scalper. They're holding down the fort right here behind me. Oh, you know what else I got for my collection? Sorry to go back to my week in collecting.
Oh, brother, I thought we were done with that.
My wife got me this. It's a Gengar skull.
What's a wife?
W wife. This thing is fucking sick.
What is a wife?
Oh, I'm married to a lady. It's a contractual obligation that keeps her in the US legally.
Don't be putting that out on the internet. Then they're gonna think it's fake.
No, yeah,
you can green card marriage.
Ask us any questions you want. We'll pass the test. They ask crazy ass questions. Fake. Did we ever talk about that on the podcast?
I believe we did, actually.
Yeah, they ask insane questions in those interviews. Anyway, that's my market update. Be careful what you're buying. Sell some stuff if you want to realize some gains. Now's a very good time. Yeah, that's what I got for the market.
Well, I'm not really done listening to your voice, so why don't you tell me about a Pokemon?
Oh, God, I forgot it was my turn. Okay. Oh, whoops, I'm on the wrong screen. Hold on a second.
I lied. I'm totally done listening to his voice.
Hold it. Hold everything. Okay, so here's what I did this week. We've been polling Discord asking for types, and I normally just like don't pay attention to it and then just pick one that I want. But this week,
I always pay attention to you guys, just so you know.
Well, normally it's like, oh shit, it's my week and I have like 3 minutes. This week I went in and I typed into a random list generator everybody's numbers that they put in, and I randomized it. And fortunately or unfortunately, number 161 was chosen. So we're going to learn a little bit about our homie Centrit.
Oh, I can already guess who said that one.
Oh, Jubbin for sure submitted 161.
Wait, he did 161 this week?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I guess
it's
I
like
ignore him.
7:16 p.m. Just a couple hours ago, he submitted it. So yeah, we're gonna learn about Centrit. Centrit is a small mammalian Pokemon covered in brown fur. It has long, dark brown ears with dark pink interiors. So if anybody is wondering, is it pink? It is. Beady black eyes and a small mouth. While it's capable of standing on its hind legs, it typically moves on all fours, which I didn't know about Centrit.
Neither did I.
That was a pretty cool fact.
I think that's kind of scary.
It's
so round, though.
I know. It has a round body with wide arms and 2 small feet. On its belly is a white ring, and there are dark brown stripes around its tail. Centrit has a cautious, timid nature and can often be seen standing on its tail to scout its surroundings, which is how I picture Centrit. It will only sleep if there is another Centrit keeping watch, and will be too frightened to sleep if separated from its pack.
Same,
he says. When it senses danger, it warns others by screeching and thumping its tail on the ground.
Same.
Yeah. Centrit can most commonly be found in temperate grasslands. Obviously, we know it evolves into Furret. Most of you know that. We already did a highlight on Furret.
You hear that? We already did a highlight on Furret.
We did, and I was considering picking something else when I landed on Centrit, but I was like, whatever. That's what the random NPC gods wanted. Centrit, sidebar, has a super dope shiny. I like it. It's like yellow and like crimson. It's very, very cool shiny.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's cool. Let me see if I can put it up on the screen. I sure can. That, my friends, is a Centrit shiny. You see it nice?
Whoa, yeah, I can see it now.
I mean, it's probably a little pixelated on your screen at the moment, but a really cool shiny. Yellow and crimson with the white belly and the kind of like Togekiss VMAX style arms. Very, very cool. Cool shiny. Centrit gets a thumbs up for its shiny. It's been in the animation countless times, but one of the cool ones, in my opinion, is that it was in an episode called Tanks a Lot, and a young Centrit teamed up with Misty's Togepi, and they hijacked Team Rocket's Arbo tank, and then they were eventually rescued by Ash and his friends with the help of the young Centrit's family. So that's a pretty cool thing, I thought.
You know what that Centrit didn't do until the end of that episode?
What?
Sleep.
Yeah, because he was afraid. So some trivia questions about Centrit, or trivia facts. Centrit shares its category with Patrat and Hisuian Growlithe. They're all known as a scout Pokemon.
That's random.
Very interesting. Centrit's the only Pokemon with a base stat total of 215. While Centrit is usually depicted as having fully brown feet, In the animated series Stadium 2 model and some artworks, it is shown as having tanned toes. Didn't know that.
10 or 9?
Tanned.
Oh.
Tanned. Despite its name, Sentret's behavior and markings are more similar to meerkats than ferrets. Since its appearance has traits of the Bake Danuki, a kind of yokai, which we've learned about in other episodes, that have big bellies and are commonly associated with the Japanese raccoon dog, or tanuki. It also shares traits with rabbits, flying squirrels, more specifically the Japanese giant flying squirrels, and sugar gliders. Its striped tail may be based on that of a ring-tailed ground squirrel, raccoon, or the aforementioned tanuki. And his name may be a combination of sentry and ferret. Sentry
That's what I always
being
thought.
a type of
scout.
scout.
Yeah.
Otachi, which is the Japanese name, may be a combination of O, which means tail, and Tashi, which means stand, or O for tail, and Itachi, which means weasel. So a tail weasel.
Isn't there a character from Naruto named Itachi?
Don't know.
I think we had the sock. I remember putting it in the system as Itachi. And I'm assuming
I know what a Hitachi is.
it was not Hitachi. Itachi.
Nope, don't know. But I have one other thing to present on Sentret, and I'm going to bring this into further Pokemon updates. I think this is a pretty cool thing. Sentret has appeared in the trading card game a total of 10 times. Sentret is in Neo Genesis. It's actually a really cute card in Neo Genesis. Neo Discovery, Aquapolis, EX Team Rocket Returns, EX Legend Maker, Secret Wonders, Pop Series 7, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and then there was a break for a while, no Sentret. And then we have Flashfire, which was an XY era set, so we went like 5 years without one. And then during that era, there was a half deck put out, which is like a battle deck, and there's a Sentret that's part of that, the Wigglytuff half deck. And then we skipped Sentret entirely in the Sun and Moon era, and we got Sentret again in Sword and Shield with Darkness Ablaze. And then we most recently have Sentret in Journey Together.
That's 12 times.
Well, Wigglytuff half deck is a battle deck, so that doesn't count as
so
like
that's
a TCG.
11 times.
Pop Series 7, those packs, POP, is like player something. I don't remember exactly what it stands for, but Pop Series cards were not commercially available for purchase. They were given to players at tournaments. So those two don't necessarily count as like a regular TCG. So those are the 12/10 appearances of Sentret in the TCG. And the hands down best Sentret we got was in EX Legend Maker, illustrated by none other than Tomokazu Kamiya. It is also the only Sentret that I own.
Sounds lame.
It's rad. All right.
Rad.
Oh, it's rad, all right.
Rad,
Card number 62 of 92 in the set. If you're watching on YouTube, here is an image of the Tomokazu Kamiya Sentret standing on its tail, looking fierce. Tomokazu
How
Kamiya.
the fuck is that thing running on 4 legs?
Goated illustrator. Absolutely goated illustrator.
Okay, but let's for real talk. Well, like
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it
is a ball.
Maybe it ambles around. It's got very short feet and arms, but it must like waddle a bit.
I mean, its feet look like it's just attached. There's no legs.
I don't know. I didn't ask about the.
I would like to see that thing move.
Mechanics of a Sentret.
That's what she said.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
So there it is, your weekly highlight. I actually don't know if I own that Sentret yet or not.
You just said you had one.
2006 mid-era stuff. Well, yeah, because it's part of the Kamiya collection. But I don't know if I actually own it or not. 2006 mid-era stuff is very difficult to find. I have the Furret. I do have 3 copies of that Sentret. Bing, bing, bing.
Bernice, all 3 of them.
No way.
Terrible artist.
Tomokazu Kamiya is goated. All right,
what would
that's
you do
your weekly Pokemon.
If I was able to get
highlight, whatever.
Tomokazu Kamiya as a guest on the podcast.
I'd have like a list of questions prepared, and I'd be super respectful and very grateful.
I wouldn't be respectful or grateful.
I know.
I would make him hate you. Just so that in the back of your mind, you always know that Tomikaze.
Tomikazu, you disrespectful fuck.
That was close enough. Tomikazu.
Close enough.
Tomato, tomato.
All right, Zach with an H.
Well.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Mm-hmm. One letter makes
here.
a pretty big difference, doesn't it?
You and Kamikaze can go talk about cards.
You're a piece of work.
When was the last Pokemon game you played?
Well, all right, that's a tough question because I have kids, so I went back and played Scarlet with Melody.
How much of it did you play?
I'm playing through with Melody, so like
what
second badge maybe.
Do you think that you've played a good amount of them?
No, I mean, not really. No. You're talking about of all of the available Pokemon games?
Yeah, from Red, Blue up until Scarlet, Violet.
No.
Which ones did you play?
I played everything that was available in the Game Boy platform. I played everything that was available on the N64 platform. So Stadium, Coliseum, Snap.
Well, I don't mean those.
And then I don't think I played. I after Game Boy Advance, the next Nintendo
Game Boy Advance, we had
Emerald.
We had Ruby and
Ruby, Sapphire,
Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf Green.
Fire Red, Leaf Green. After that, I didn't have a Nintendo-based console until Switch.
You didn't have a DS or any of that?
Nope.
Oh, so then my question doesn't really work. I was going to ask which one was your favorite.
Well, I mean, I still have a favorite Pokemon game of all time, but
well, then let's hear about it.
So, like, real Pokemon game is Red, no, like OG Pokemon, no question. Still has the best replay value. It's legendary. ROM or like hacked Pokemon game, there's one called Fire Ash that I like a tremendous amount. It's in an 8 or whatever, 32-bit, whatever the bit rate is, style, and you start in the Kanto region, and then you play through every region, but you bring your Pokemon with you as you go. I think I may have mentioned it on the podcast in the past.
You might have. It's called Fire Ash.
Yeah.
Is it like a Fire Red ROM?
Similar.
Because I know like a lot of the ROMs are like based off of like Fire Red and like that era. But yeah, Red is definitely your favorite.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like Red.
As far as like the newer era games.
Well, how are you liking Scarlet and Violet?
They're okay. I'm not a huge fan of Miraidon and Koraidon. I think it's like a very tacky mechanic. I like. Wait, did I say I was replaying Scarlet with Melody?
I don't know. You said you were playing one of them with Melody.
No, I said either Scarlet or Violet. It's Sword that we're playing.
Oh, okay. I like Sword.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
Sword. I think they did a very good job with Sword and Shield.
Agreed. And I don't think they did as good with Scarlet or Violet.
Scarlet and Violet feels rushed and unfinished. The graphics are ass. Like, graphics are terrible. Story, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't know if this is because I've just been playing Pokemon since Red, all the way up until now. I like the progression based, where it's like, okay, Gym Leader 1, Gym Leader 2, Gym Leader 3. In Scarlet and Violet, you can just go to whichever one you want, really.
Right.
And I'm not a huge fan of that. I do
There's
like
a lot
of
things I didn't love about the Scarlet and Violet era as far as like the actual game goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think they made it too easy. Did you play Let's Go at all? Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee?
No.
They made that wildly easy.
I played for 20 minutes, you know what I mean? Like nothing.
Yeah. Like, so I've been replaying Let's Go Pikachu lately. It's wildly easy with the catch rate, like the catching. You don't have to battle the Pokemon. You don't have to bring the HP down or paralyze it or any of that. You just literally have to just catch it. That's like Pokemon Go. and then all your Pokemon get incredible XP. You can get to level 100 like that. I mean, it's incredibly easy. Let's go. It's fun because it's Kanto. Can't go wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can ride an Arcanine, so that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's dope.
But it's incredibly easy. And I feel like Scarlet, and then they did Sword and Shield, not as easy. Sword and Shield went back to like the old school ways of you have to progress each gym, and you actually have to battle the Pokemon to catch it, which I love. But then they dropped the ball with Scarlet and Violet, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't disagree at all. And I think that has a large part to do with why the beginning of the Scarlet Violet era of Pokemon of the trading card game was such a flop.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it definitely goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean, people were not stoked for Scarlet Violet games, and nobody was stoked for the cards either. Nobody liked the terrestrialization. Nobody liked the new format. It was too easy to pull cards. Blah blah blah. There were all these things that kind of went hand in hand when they came out. Pokemon really hasn't gotten a drop right on a game in a long time. Sword and Shield was good, but it still wasn't great.
I really like what they did with Sword and Shield though. That game, the setting of being in like England, the English setting, I thought was fun. Everybody walking around saying "Oi."
I do like it. I mean, and playing through with Melody, which we haven't played in a while, but playing through is really nostalgic. That's why I like that Hops Wooloo card so much, because that card is like a screenshot out of a higher res screenshot out of Sword and Shield.
I mean, even the graphics on that look like high res compared to fucking Scarlet and Violet. Yeah. I can't say it enough. They dropped the fucking ball with that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were out on a time crunch or whatnot, but like they just like left so much tiny detail out of it that just made it ass.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that this Legends thing, ZA, I barely played Legends Arceus.
Right.
Although everybody always tells me that they love that game and that it was one of the best. I couldn't get into it. Maybe I can go back and try it. But Legends ZA, I'm hoping is good, and then whatever's coming after that, I'm hoping is great.
Well, we don't know yet because we don't know the next gen yet. But what I find interesting is a comment you made that when I was when I mentioned the N64 games, you're like, "Oh, I'm not talking about that." You weren't into Stadium?
I loved Stadium.
Oh, okay.
But that's not what I meant by Pokemon games. I loved Stadium. I loved Snap.
Got it. Okay. It felt like you were dismissive, like, oh, that doesn't count as a Pokemon game. But I would argue that Stadium is almost more of a it's just battling.
Right. So, that's why I didn't count. That's why I wasn't counting it.
Got it.
It wasn't story driven. It was just
I understand.
Straight battling.
Yeah. It's like Pokemon.
What I used to love doing is you get the it is Pokemon Mortal Kombat. You get the Rumble Pack where you can put in your cartridge and you can use your Pokemon from Red and Blue and Yellow. I used to love doing that.
Yeah, I also played a ton of Snap. I really enjoyed Snap when I was a kid.
Snap was fun. Snap was a lot of fun.
I had a really good time playing
Didn't
Snap.
they recently come out with a Snap?
Yeah, there was like a reboot for Switch, which I played very briefly. I don't play very many video games like today. It's not something that we know that you like video games. It's not something that
if you're just listening, I'm wearing a Red Dead Redemption 2 shirt.
Yes. It's just not something I spend a tremendous amount of time doing. I had like a brief time where I was pretty obsessed with TCG Card Shop Simulator. That was very, very fun. But I go in like waves with video games. I don't spend a lot of time playing video games. So
see, what I do with like video games is I will get addicted to one video game for like a certain amount of time. And like that's it nonstop. Like recently, I've been playing Planet Zoo, like every night, every fucking day. That's all I've been doing. And what's funny is like, I guess it's not funny, but I'm very indecisive at times. And like I'll build half a zoo and then be like, oh, I don't like how this looks, and I will scrap the whole fucking thing and start a new one.
Yeah,
it's frustrating, but it's fun. I like building the shit.
Right. For me, I feel like it's and I don't want this to sound like rude, so I don't know really a better way to say it, but like while I'm playing a video game like that, like a sim, it feels like everything I'm doing is totally inconsequential.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can say that about any video game.
Yes.
What if it's inconsequential? When you say inconsequential, what do you mean?
I just don't have I don't see any value in it because to me, I don't get the same like feelings or relief that you get. Like it's not stress relieving for me to play a sim. I don't feel like I'm part of a simulation. I can play games like COD and Red Dead and um TCG Card Shop Sim I liked because it was very mathy and it kind of like scratched a math itch that I had for a little bit there. Um,
Well,
you know,
how
like
doesn't
when we
Planet Zoo do that? Well, all right. Well, let me put it to you this way: the way I play is franchise mode. So you start with a certain amount of money, and you start with a certain amount of like credit, and you have to build up before you can get the bigger animals. You can't buy them outright.
right. I also I guess I don't have the same passion for Planet Zoo that I did for TCG Card Shop Sim. Like
Well,
for
I mean, yeah,
me,
that's fair. I like zoos. That's fair.
that game had like a lot of crossover value to it.
Hmm.
I like visiting a zoo, but I couldn't care less about the inner workings of a zoo. You know, I ain't no
That's fair.
Carol Baskin. But I often find that like I often feel like even if I play COD, if I play COD for more than 45 minutes, I feel like I'm not being productive. But I can sit on the couch for 4 hours watching YouTube and not have that same feeling. So I'm not saying that video games are a waste of time because I don't feel that way. Like intellectually,
It's just
I
something
don't.
that you don't. Yeah, it's just you personally,
I exactly. It's a
right?
me thing.
I
Very
mean, you're
few games.
wrong, but that's
I
fine.
mean, I think
I'm
it's just a
kidding. It's an
difference of
opinion.
opinions.
Yeah, it's an opinion. I'm kidding.
Very few games in my lifetime have captured me the way that Pokemon Red did. I mean, Pokemon Red, I was completely enamored by. Advance Wars, which that's like a real throwback. Yep, you know Advance Wars, right?
I believe I do.
Game Boy Advance. It was a like a war game. Um, NBA Street Volume 2 on the GameCube. So I guess I did have a Nintendo
So you didn't
after,
have a handheld,
right? No handhelds. I had a GameCube. Um, that game. Oh well, prior to that, 007 and Tony Hawk, both of them.
of course.
Uh, yeah, NBA Street Volume 2, a game called Aggressive Inline on GameCube. That game was absolutely
Yes,
phenomenal.
I had it for PS2.
Yeah, that game was incredible. Um,
It had that Hoobastank song on it that I liked.
yep, I
Crawling in the
remember
dark.
Brawling in the
Yeah.
Dark. Yep. And then I think after GameCube, it wasn't until I got really into like a trials game, like trial biking,
Hmm.
and then that was it until I bought a PS5.
And then I got you into.
Well, not necessarily. Like if you and I weren't playing, like I don't play Red Dead by myself ever.
That's fair. Yeah.
I play when I'm playing video games with you or like other people. It's a
You play video
social.
games with other people
You and other
without
people.
me.
No, you're always there. It's a very social thing, and that's fun for me. If I'm playing COD, I'm not playing online. Like I play zombies or I play against bots or I play story mode. I don't want to feel like ultra competitive. Like I don't like, I just don't do that.
Hmm. Yeah.
WWE is fun because there's a lot of thinking involved. It's a kind of, to me, it feels very much like a board game, but it's also social. We're, hanging out and having fun. So I don't
We
know
haven't
that
done that in a while. We
yeah,
should
no, we
get
probably should
back
do that
into that.
again.
There's a couple
But
of DLCs that I've downloaded since we haven't done it.
going back to Pokemon, like I don't even know that I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I have Pokemon everywhere. My apparel, my decor, my life, my job, everything is Pokemon. I don't know that I'll buy the new Pokemon game and sit down and play the whole thing. I can actually probably tell you that I won't do that. I
I
can't tell
will.
the future, but that's just not something that I would invest that amount of time into. Um,
And that's
I
why I'm the
don't.
other side of this podcast.
Yeah, yes. We have two different personality types. Even TCG Pocket. I was so into it for a little bit. I was playing like every day. Really loved it. I haven't opened that app in 2 months. Pokemon
I
Go, I
still
don't
open
touch
it every
anymore.
day.
Like
Yeah. Oh, Pokemon Go I open every day. But Pocket I just do the pack opening.
if I try to open Pokemon Go right now, I probably need to update it. It won't even open.
Oh.
I just
Well, this
don't
past
like
weekend was Go Fest.
I very very rarely invest time into video games. I guess Clash
And that's
Royale is
just
another
you
game that I
personally.
spent a lot of time in.
Yeah, he says that when we linked up onto the fucking studio here today. He's in the middle of playing a game.
Yeah, because you told me 5 minutes and a Clash Royale match takes 3 minutes. And then I finished the first one and you still weren't here. And I finished the first one in like a minute 10.
Well, it's because
So I
none
was
of
like,
the
oh,
air
I got time
conditioners
for
in my
another one.
apartment work, so I was trying to fix some of them.
So I thought I had extra time. Evidently, I didn't have as much time, but I won both matches. It's fine. I'm also like, I got like crazy into Clash. That's a mobile game. I don't even know if I really count those.
That's fair.
Clash Royale was extreme. Like, it was a problem in my marriage for a while. That's how into Clash Royale I was.
It doesn't come in Canadian.
No, my wife would like, we had like conversations and we agreed at a point, like she would come into the room and if I was on my phone, she would say, "Are you in a match?" And if I said yes, she would just leave. And whatever she had to ask, she would just come back and ask later.
So you were full on addicted.
Like, I would play for like 2, 3, 4 hours a day, every day.
That's fun. You know what else is addicting? Ranking
Cocaine.
Pokemon. Yeah, and cocaine.
Yeah, we can rank some Pokemon. I was not prepared for that transition. I thought you were going to come.
Well,
up
I
with
mean, you're
something
just
else.
sitting there bad mouthing all of us video game players.
I'm not bad mouthing anybody. I'm just telling you how I feel. Don't take it so personal.
I did.
I picked the Pokemon number. You pick the type.
Fire. It was the first thing I saw. When's the last time we did fire?
I don't know.
I feel like it might have been recent.
All right, here we go. We're going to generate one at a time, 10 fire type Pokemon and rank them blind, best to worst. Our first Pokemon is Fennekin. Yeah, I have the same reaction. Like, where does Fennekin go?
Did you put it somewhere?
Yeah, I put it somewhere. Next Pokemon is Simisear. I was also reading the chat from Discord in the podcast channel.
What did you say?
Simisear.
I saw you said something.
Something about celebrations being stupid.
Okay. Celebrations is stupid. There you go.
Oh, you know why Mike thinks that? Because he doesn't like the logo on celebrations. The little Pikachu with the 2-5 on it.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, it's a little distracting, but how else are you going to denote that the reprinted cards are not the originals? Like XY Evolutions cards are used to trick kids all the time. That's stupid. Got to put something on it. Next up, we got Sizzlipede.
Sizzlipede.
We've got Darumaka. Heatmore.
I'm not a fan of this list.
So far, not great. Fuecoco. Tepig. Sizzlipede again. Flareon.
You know what's really fun that nobody ever does?
What?
Play along.
Yeah, play along at home. Sharkadette. And last but not least, Pansear.
I fucking hate myself.
Why is Pansear number 1?
Yeah.
You were holding out for something better than Flareon, like a Zard or an Arcanine?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. You played yourself.
I did. You ready?
Yep.
Sizzlipede is number 10 for me.
Sizzlipede is also number 10 for me.
Number 9, Darumaka.
I have Heatmore.
Okay. Number 8, I have Simisear.
Sharkadette.
Number 7, I have Heatmore.
I have Simisear.
Number 6, I have Sharkadette.
Fennekin.
Number 5, I have Fennekin.
I have Tepig.
Number 4, I have Flareon.
I have Darumaka. I like Darumaka.
Okay. That's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah.
3, I have Tepig.
I have Pansear. It was in that, like, the only one left, obviously.
2, I have Fuecoco.
Fuecoco also.
And one I have Panseer.
I have Flareon. Yeah, I think Darumaka is pretty cool. He's like a little Japanese mask come to life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate. I mean, I put it at number 9, so I can't say I don't hate it, but I'm just not a fan.
I like Darumaka. It's very cool to me. Little mask. I think it would make such a dope tattoo, like a very stylized Darumaka. Like I think you
like
sent me that.
Fuecoco.
Oh yeah, Fuecoco is. I think I almost said this out loud, but I don't want to get added. But I think probably the second best fire starter.
One being Charmander.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going through all the fire starters in my head. Yeah. And what really sucks is that it's following 2 evolution sucks.
Right.
But I do really like Fuecoco. He's a little funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
With his mouth wide open. He's adorable.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on that one. Don't add us. Fully evolved 15.
Fully evolved, default, evolution, all gens.
No, not all types yet.
No,
fire.
Yeah. 15 fire types. Here we go. Gonna make a battle party of 6 out of these 15 Pokemon. Pokemon options are Salazzle, Incineroar, Heatran, Ninetales, Delphox, Colossal, Turtonator, Arcanine, Centiskorch, Gouging Fire, Chi-Yu, Chandelure, Flareon, Infernape, and Entei.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You just like mentally picking them?
Mm-hmm. I always do at this part.
Ooh, what do I do here?
Oh, what to do? Oh, bother. Christopher, have you been eating honey without me,
That's
Christopher?
a pretty good, very creepy, but pretty good poo impression. Okay, ready.
Blood is thicker than honey, Christopher. I took Entei.
Yeah.
Gouging Fire.
No, I crossed Gouging Fire out.
Okay. Arcanine.
Yeah.
Chi-Yu.
Yep.
Ninetales.
Yep.
And Incineroar.
No. So I knew you weren't going to take Flareon because you never take Flareon. You don't like Flareon.
I don't hate Flareon. I just
Incineroar and Gouging Fire against Flareon and Chandelure.
I don't even got to do this.
Yeah, probably not.
But I will.
But I wanted a more diverse typing, you know? I don't like Incineroar. I never take Incineroar. And I had Gouging
type.
Fire. Who, Incineroar?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I like him. I just don't like Incineroar.
All right, fine.
Just like you don't like Flareon.
Incineroar.
I had Gouging, and I couldn't decide between Gouging and Entei, and just on principle, I went with Entei. Like they did my boy dirty with that stupid hat.
And Chandelure. Just tell me who wins. Incineroar, Gouging Fire win.
Okay. 15, any type. Here we go. We got Fluttermane, Hatterene, Exploud, Leafeon, Claydol, Volcanion, Rhyperior, Arclodon, Swanna, Alakazam, Pyon, Electros, Beautyfly, Terrapagus, and Mesprit. This list sucks.
Yeah, it really does. It should be fun though, because there's no like obvious that we're taking.
Oh, there's a few that are obvious.
Yeah, but whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
All right, I got mine.
Volcanion.
Yes.
Rhyperior.
Yes.
Archelodon.
No.
Alakazam.
Yes.
Wait. That's 5. Mesprit.
No. No, I don't think that was 5.
Yeah, that was 5.
I don't have Mesprit
Volcanion.
either. Oh yeah, it's Volcanion who I'm missing.
Oh, the other one I meant was Leafeon. I forgot to say Leafeon.
I have Leafeon. So you have Volcanion and
Mesprit and
No. I have Volcanion. It's Archelodon and Mesprit.
Okay.
Are who I don't have. And I have Electros and Fluttermane. Archelodon obviously is like really tanky, but again, I wanted to have a diversity in my typing, so that's where Fluttermane and Electros came from.
Archelodon and Mesprit. Versus, who was it again? Electros
and Fluttermane. I almost took Mesprit. I was never taking Archelodon. I almost took Mesprit though over Electros.
You win.
It's that type advantage, bruh.
Whatever.
Mesprit's like a glass cannon. Archelodon's like just an annoying tank.
You're an annoying tank.
All right, that wasn't bad.
Christopher.
That's so creepy, dude.
Have you been eating honey without me, Christopher?
All right, well, that was fun.
That was fun. Always have fun.
Ready for dinner, so let's call it a night.
What are we eating?
I don't know. Nothing good.
Fine. Well,
I literally
thank
have no
you
idea.
for listening for an hour and 12 minutes so far.
You are welcome.
No, wasn't to you. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, tell your grandma, tell your mom, tell your childhood best friend, tell the person at your local card shop about us. Tell everybody. And
make sure you tell your favorite Target scalper.
Make sure you tell your favorite what is it, MJ Holding?
Yeah. your favorite MJ Holdings rep.
Yeah, tell them too. Don't forget them. Also, tell your therapist.
Bold of you to assume our listeners have therapists.
What we have 11 or 12? I don't know the statistic, but there's probably
on YouTube last week has 12 views. It'll eventually get more views, but last week was 12.
There's probably a statistic about like 1 in 12 people go to see a therapist. I might be the one. I don't go anymore. I used to.
I've been to a therapist.
Me too. Like, comment, subscribe, everything else. Collector wants to go eat. I've been Zack Mo, aka Tim.
I've been Collector, aka Visine. 19.2% of adults in the United States. So that's about 20%. So 3 out of 12.
Every 3. So 3 of the people listening.
3, 6, 9, 12. It's like 3 is 25%. It's 2.5. 2.75.
Okay, so 2.5. So only half of somebody goes.
2.4. I did the math on a calculator. Thank you to the 2.4 of you seeking mental health treatment.
Tell your therapist. I don't know why you're saying thank you.
I don't know why either. I love you guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.